Are you ready to do this, Miss Captain Marvel? Let's get it. Hello everyone and welcome to About Last Night. My name's EJ Marino and this is the show where I talk about the movie I saw last night. We're diving into a really big movie. Yes, I'm talking about the new film, Captain Marvel. After 21 films, yes, this is the 21st movie in the MCU, somehow Captain Marvel still remains fresh, still remains fun. There is some flaws to this movie. I don't think it's like really all that amazing, but it is an enjoyable, middle-of-the-road Marvel movie. I'm sorry, for some people, that isn't enough. But for me, right after Infinity War and right before Endgame, I think Captain Marvel is the perfect palate cleanser. It gets me so ready for this next big adventure in the franchise, but still gives me a good, nice, peaceful, kind of smaller scale story. I actually really enjoy that. I didn't think I needed the stakes of this movie to be the end of the world. I just had a big, stressful end of the world movie. So Captain Marvel really has this nice scale to it. It's still big because it's still like the galaxy and universes and all that, but it doesn't feel like, oh, end of the world Thanos. This feels like it's Captain Marvel trying to save her people, to kind of save the whole world. It isn't one of those, we have to save the whole world, but you feel the stakes are still there, and that's what I like about Captain Marvel. It somehow keeps the stakes going with still doing a more personal, real, down-to-earth story. Yes, I am sorry for anyone who is waiting for a very negative review of Captain Marvel, but I don't have a lot of like really mean things to say. Do I think this movie is flawless? No. That script has some issues. I think the story's fine. It gets to the dialogue. It gets to some of those scenes that I'm like, not that great. The overall visual effects are very average for the MCU. There's nothing like Doctor Strange mind-blowing. There isn't a created character like Thanos, but it looks good. It's not as like bad as that like last act of Black Panther, but it isn't, like I said, an Infinity War level visual effects. Other than that, I can't have too many more complaints. Brie Larson acts amazing. Now, what surprises me is, look, she's an Academy Award winner. But what I felt was I believed her as this role. She had this, you know, when she gets her full-on powers and you just feel it, I felt that power coming from her. So I really enjoyed that. She was believable in the fight scenes. Her humor, oh, the jokes in this movie aren't great. Oh boy, we'll talk about that. But she carries them well. I thought Brie Larson was not going to be able to do the comedy. I remember her in Kong Skull Island, and I did not find her funny there. But here, I thought she used this comedy the best that she could, because boy, does this have some cringe-worthy MCU humor. If you're one of those people who don't really love the jokes in this franchise, I'm one of those. I lean more to I like an action more than a comedy. But this has those jokes. Oh boy, some very on-the-nose comments. None of them are those like sexist, like, oh, you know, let's do it like the boys do it. There's one of those and it felt natural. But there's not a lot of those. There is just a lot of like, I get it, you're a girl. Oh, you're a girl in the 90s. There's so many jokes to do there. We get it. That is truly my only complaint, is so many of the gags are based around the 90s and that she's a girl. So you get to a point where you're like, I get it. She's a girl. It's the 90s. You can stop hitting me in the face with it. Other than the script, other than Brie Larson, other than those visual effects, what else is there in this movie to talk about? Well, that supporting cast is so strong. I thought Brie Larson was going to get swallowed up by actors like Jude Law, Annette Bening. We had Samuel L. Jackson. There is like people in here that I was like, okay, Brie, you have, oh god, we even have Ben Mendelsohn. We'll talk about him. But there was a lot of actors in here that I was like, Brie, okay, this is gonna be hard. But instead of getting outshined by the rest of her supporting crew, I thought she worked well with them. She comes off stiff when she needs to come off stiff with like a person like Fury at first. You know, they're not really connected. But by the end, I loved Nick Fury and Captain Marvel's bond. I actually really loved Talos and Captain Marvel when they get to have their moments. We actually get the like supreme intelligence played by Annette Bening. There were some great moments there. I mean, come on, the first 2 minutes Annette Bening has a gun and Jude Law is like looking great. I was sold on that alone. But that's what I'm saying. I really love this world that they built. Do I think this movie is amazing? No, it isn't on the level of like Thor Ragnarok, Winter Soldier, Black Panther. But this isn't Thor the Dark World or Iron Man 2, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Ooh, those sequels are bad. No, this is nothing like those. This is pretty on par with the like first Iron Man, with the first Ant-Man. That's a good comparison. Very similar to the first Ant-Man in like, this isn't the biggest scale movie, but you're having a good time. You're seeing all these actors work well. Because I felt the same way. I like Paul Rudd, but Paul Rudd was dealing with like Evangeline Lilly, Michael Douglas. There were some hard people to go up against. Brie Larson does that same thing and does it well. I love the supporting cast. Like I said, I love the universe they live in. I was genuinely like, I could see more of this, but can we see some of her like being a badass person in space dealing with the Kree and the Skrulls? Can we get more of that? That's the biggest compliment, is if they can want me wanting more of a character, especially in the MCU, that's good. In order to keep my review spoiler free for everyone and also, keep it pretty short, I'm going to wrap it up like this. Captain Marvel is a good film. I'm going to give it a solid B+. This doesn't reinvent the wheel. This isn't like breaking new ground for the MCU, but this is an enjoyable ride. I really enjoyed this character. I really enjoyed this universe. If you were worried that this movie was going to be like SJW the movie or some man-hating film, this is not it. Please go, remove that stuff from your brain. I know all the controversy surrounding this movie. I know Brie Larson's statements, which, let's talk about that real quick. At my press screening, I was the only person under the age of 40. There was one other woman. Her comments are not crazy. I know it sucks pointing out a group of people, but she has a point. It is a predominantly white male industry, group of people. She isn't wrong. I understand the controversy, so like I said, try to leave and remove all of that. That's something I enjoyed about this. I had all of this going around. I had all the hype, all the, it's right before Endgame, all the Brie Larson comments. Then I sat down and just enjoyed the movie, and that's what this should be about, and that's what this does. It allows me to escape. I had a good 2 hours just being like, that was a fine movie. I enjoyed it. I'm not like writing home about it. I'm not going to like tell you guys this is the best Marvel movie ever to come out, but it's good. It's enjoyable. I hope you enjoy it. Yes, thank you so much for tuning into my video. Check out like all my videos on my channel by subscribing, because I make videos like this every single week. Make sure you give me a thumbs up as well. Also, don't forget to comment down below. I want to know your thoughts. What are your thoughts on Captain Marvel? What's your favorite MCU movie? Let me know everything down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video, and let's keep this conversation going by commenting about Captain Marvel in the comments below.